Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. Guys, I want to talk about this idea of how I see a lot of amateurs do these different crash diets. And the high achievers understand crash diets are temporary. It leads to disappointment. It leads to a lot of frustration with the weight going up and down. And so what high achievers do, we use something called flexible nutrition strategies, okay? Now, some of y'all might be like, well, what is a crash diet? I feel like I maybe did something, but I don't know if it's a crash diet or not. Let me tell you, because I've been doing this over 16 years at this point, y'all. And so I've been able to experience some of these crash diets myself, not just seeing people go through them, but, earlier in my career when I just knew workout and, training, I didn't understand the whole nutrition aspect of things. I grew up eating soul food. And as I stepped into doing personal training, all I knew was just working out. Do some bench press, do some squats, do some abs, do some shoulders. And then as I started to develop myself as a professional, I started to realize, dang, my clients, they can get real strong, but not lose a whole lot of weight if they don't understand the nutrition aspect of things. And so I became like my own guinea pig before I started teaching my clients. And so I did the things like the detox diets. I did the things like the all water fast. I did the things like drinking 2-3 protein shakes a day, like extremely high amounts of protein on a daily basis, and finding myself feeling burned out. Not just physically, but also mentally. Feeling tired. Noticing that, I didn't have that willpower, that get up and go when I would hit the gym. It would start off great, but I found myself like just not having that energy to perform like I wanted to in the gym. This is what happens when you do crash diets, along with the people who may just give up sweets, give up sugar altogether, give up carbs. This is what people say they want to do when they start trying to lose weight. I'm just about to give up all my sugar. I'm just going to give up alcohol. Some of y'all might need to give up alcohol now. But, they just give up these different things and they find themselves a couple of days, maybe weeks, and they do fairly well, make a little progress, and then they fall back because they can't be consistent, or they find themselves burning out, or they find themselves irritable, feeling like they're starving. These are the types of things that happen when you're doing crash diets, guys, okay? And so this is amateur behavior right here. For the lack of better words, amateur behavior. And your boy, at one point, I have to be honest, I had amateur behavior. And it led me to having this frustration and disappointment with how my body looked. I was never like morbidly obese or anything, but I think we all have, well, if you like me, people can tell you, hey man, you look good the way you are. Hey girl, you look good the way you are. But you know how you want to look. It's another level to how you can look. You're like, man, you say I look good, but I know I can look way better than I'm looking right now. I know I can look way better in my clothes. I know I can look way better when I pull my shirt off. That was me. And so I wanted to shift from that disappointment. And so what I had to learn are the things I'm getting ready to share with you now, okay? This comes from years of training people, teaching myself, going to Georgia State University and studying exercise science and nutrition, even stepping on stage as a bodybuilder. And so I've been able to, compartmentalize all this information I'm getting ready to share with you guys from different aspects of life, okay? Not just book smart, but also application on myself and with my clients, okay? And so with that said, here's the first thing. Amateurs focus on, let me just cut out carbs. Let me just cut out sugar. Let me just cut out the sodas. That's being mindful. Yeah, you should do those things, but is it sustainable? For most folks, it's not. Most folks say, well, I'm just going to stop eating out. Well, if you're busy like I am, you have a demanding career, at times you won't have a choice but to eat out. You're going to have to travel at times. You're going to have birthdays with your family and your babies and, whoever it may be. And so you're telling me that you're going to be able to still eat the chicken and broccoli diet or the all salad diet when the birthday come around or when you're traveling? I think not. This is what happens to most folks, because when these things happen, when these moments or these events come up, this is when people fall off and then they go back to their old ways. Okay? And so this is why we don't want to do the crash diets. Instead, the first thing we want to focus on is energy management, guys. Energy management. If you ever heard somebody say the term calories, calorie intake, focus on how much you're eating on a daily basis. This is critical, because if you want to finally lose the weight and keep that weight off long term, guys, you have to understand how to manage your energy. Most folks think about energy as just you wake up and you're able to move around, you're able to accomplish and be productive, accomplish different things in your life and be really productive, right? But that's not all, okay? It's also you being able to manage the energy that you have via your weight by the type of foods that you eat, okay? And the amount of foods that you eat. So you can switch from eating junk food to eating more nutritionally dense food. You'll have better energy. You'll have the brain fog will go away. You won't feel tired and sluggish. But let's say you're still 30, 50, 100 pounds overweight. That weight is stress. That weight can actually drain your energy, okay? Physically and mentally. And so this is why we also want to understand energy management from a calorie intake perspective. If you overconsume on energy, guys, it just turns into fat. If you notice that you're having like a lot of belly fat, a lot of love handles, a lot of lower back fat, a lot of man boobs, things like that, you're consuming too much energy. You're consuming excess, which means your body is not utilizing that energy. So it stores it in our body as fat. That's what happens, okay? And so if you're walking around, you're like, man, it must just be my genetics. Man, it must just be my age. It got to be something, man. I don't know. It must be because some of these guys out here taking testosterone. That's why I'm not ripped up because I'm not doing the testosterone thing that all the other guys are doing. No, it has nothing to do with that, guys. You just have to understand how to manage your energy. It's the same way as some folks who are broke financially because they don't understand how to manage their energy, versus the other person who does understand how to not manage their energy, but to manage their money, their finances. But you have the second person who understands how to manage their finances. They know how much is coming in, how much is going out. And so they're going to be a lot more likely to be successful financially. Same thing with managing our energy, okay? With foods, the quality of the food, the calorie intake, the portions. These things are vital, guys. If you want to have mental energy, physical energy to excel in your career, but also have time to enjoy yourself with your family and have a social life, right? Very, very important that you understand energy consumption, all right? It's not just sleep. It's not just the quality of foods you eat, but it's the quantity also, okay? That's the first thing. The second thing is timing and frequency. Timing and frequency. One of the things I see from a lot of folks inside the DMs who are having a hard time, DMs on like Instagram, Facebook, they say to me, well, I'm trying to lose weight right now. I just got to stop eating after 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. I just got to stop eating after 7 p.m. And I'm thinking to myself, why does this person think this? And I had to think about it. I was like, dang, you know what? A lot of people, somebody said you can't hear me. Let me move my mic a little bit closer. Let me see if it's my mic. Let me know if everybody else can hear me. I'm doing it live, y'all. Everybody who listens to the replay, and some people, they might say they can't hear me, so I got to make sure everybody else can hear me too. Let me know if that sounds a little bit better. Let me know if that sounds a little bit better. I'll move my mic a little bit closer. But anyway, so a lot of people, they think that they got to stop eating after 7 or 8 p.m. and they wonder why they can't lose weight. But the issue isn't that they're eating after 7 or 8, because I have clients who are working overnight. Have nurses. I have lieutenants inside the police department. Things like that. And so, so somebody else said it. Yeah, so I'm glad somebody said something. I appreciate y'all speaking up. So I'm mic a little bit closer now. But anyway, yeah. And so my clients who work overnight, work in the evenings, are you telling me that these people can't eat anything after 7 to 8 p.m. if they have to work overnight? No. They got to eat. And these people in my coaching program are dropping weight. So how does that happen? It goes back to the first thing that I was just talking about, energy management. As long as you're eating the right amount of calories in a given day and the right quality of food in a given day, 24 hours, you're going to lose weight. Okay? This is one of the most important keys to weight loss. Okay? Whether you want to lose belly fat, love handles, whatever it is. Okay? That once you have that part down pat, the next part of it is the frequency and timing of your meals. This is going to be tailored to you. Some people that I coach, they work overnight. Other people that I coach, they work throughout the day. And so everything has to be tailored to their lifestyle, their goals, okay? Let's say the saying, because it sounds so low, it's hard to follow. I wish I could hear. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change up my mic because today I switched it up. Let me see. All right, I'm pretty sure y'all will be able to hear me now. So the quality is either going to get a lot better or a lot worse, but we go keep on rolling because now I just took my little mic out. Anyway, let's try this one last time. All right, so anyway, let's see. Let me look and see exactly where I was at. Yeah, so the timing and frequency. Some people find themselves skipping meals. They skip breakfast, they skip lunch, and then they go right into eating dinner. And they may snack throughout the day. And they find themselves feeling tired. They find themselves binge eating. They find themselves being like, man, why am I, emotionally eating? I'm feeling stressed. What's going on here? Almost like they can't control it. And that's because they're not having the proper structure with frequency of meals and timing of meals. Now, some people, they say, well, I'm just fasting. Well, fasting can create binge eating disorders if you're not eating the proper amount of food when you do eat, guys. Super critical, okay? And so this is why one of the frameworks that I teach my coaching clients is the 3-2-1 diet, okay? 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 2 snacks, all right, one between lunch and breakfast and the other one between lunch and dinner. And it's not so much for like just weight loss, but energy. Like you want to be able to perform at a high level on a daily basis, you need energy. And you may not always have time to eat a big meal if your life is just really busy, okay? And then the one cheat meal a week. All you need is 1 cheat meal a week. If you do this, you will drop weight, period. And this formula that I'm giving you guys, the 3-2-1 diet, you'll be able to lean out and keep the weight off for good, okay? And so the timing and the frequency matters more so, not just for like weight loss, but your energy throughout the day. Because if your energy starts to drop, your stress level is going to go up. If your stress level goes up, you're not going to want to eat the foods that you're supposed to eat. You're going to want to eat junk food. Most everybody is. When they're tired, when the willpower is low, when you can't think mentally because you're just like, man, I just need some food in my system. And your stress level is high. Guys, you're going to want to eat some junk food. You're going to want to eat Oreos and ice cream and, drink you a glass of wine. This is what happens when your stress level is really high because you're not properly timing up your meals, okay? That's why that part is very important and the frequency of meals are important. So that's the second thing. The last thing is this. You got to follow a system that you can sustain, okay? And what I mean by this is you don't have to be like the generic trainers who say, hey, you got to give up sugar. Hey, you got to give up carbs. Hey, you got to give up alcohol. Hey, you got to give up eating out. You don't have to give up any of these things, guys. You don't. Like what you have to have is systems in your life. The same way you're able to thrive in your career with systems in your business or in your line of work, you have to have systems for your eating habits. You have to have systems for your exercise routines, even your sleep. You have to have systems and routines. And so, as far as nutrition is concerned, you want to follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you're eating nutritionally dense food. These are foods that are going to give you value, meaning you're not just losing weight, but you're going to feel good physically. You're going to feel good mentally. That way you can truly excel in your career. You're not just like trying to get by looking at everybody else like, dang, man, how are they able to do so much, man? God, I just don't have it in me. You don't have to be like that. If you start focusing on the quality of the foods that you're eating, okay? And so 80% of the time, healthy and clean, dense, nutrition, proteins, right? Healthy fats, fruits that have seeds in them, green leafy vegetables. We're not just eating these things for health. We're eating these things for energy. We're eating these things for performance. You want to look at yourself 3 to 6 months from now and you're loving the way you're looking. You want to look at yourself 3 to 6 months from now and you're able to be even more productive, do even more, enjoy life more, your clothes fitting better. This is how you have to start eating. And then the other 20% of the time, you can enjoy yourself. You don't have to, never go out. Like I go out all the time. 2-3 times a week, I eat out. You can still do this and have abs, have a flat stomach, look and feel your best, okay? You just have to have structure with what you're doing. The same way you have structure in your career to excel, you have to have structure with your health and fitness. A lot of y'all are very smart, man. A lot of y'all are very smart. You just lack the right systems in your lifestyle to get the results that you want. It's not as hard as most of y'all might think it is. You've been able to excel in your career because you have systems that allow you to excel. Same thing in health and fitness. You have to have the right systems. If you've been struggling for a long time with your weight, or maybe you just feel stuck, that just means you have the wrong systems. That's all that means, guys. All right, doesn't mean that you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you don't have enough willpower. Doesn't mean you got to have all the motivation in the world. High performers understand we don't rely on motivation. We rely on the systems. There's plenty of days I don't feel like exercising. There's plenty of days I don't feel like eating the right way. But because I have systems that allow me to not even have to think about what I need to do, I'm able to just execute. And that's how I'm able to keep the results I have. That's why I'm in my mid-30s, 35 years old. Your boy is getting up there. Up there. I'm up now. The youngest say, I'm up. And so now, I'm able to still have abs, still have energy, still look like I'm in my 20s. Why is this? I have systems around my eating habits, systems to manage my stress, systems to be able to make my body look the way I want it to look. So I look good in my clothes and when I take my clothes off. You guys can do the same thing, okay? But anyway, hopefully y'all found this helpful. Just remember, amateurs, they do the crash diets. They just be jumping from crash diet to crash diet. High performers, high achievers, we understand how to make nutrition work for us and not against us, okay? So we have systems, we have strategies that work for us, all right? If you're looking at people in your career or in the same line of work as you, and they're, doing a little bit better than you are, and with ease, more energy, looking better, feeling better, guys, they either know something that you don't know or somebody has taught them what they need to do, but you just don't know it yet, okay? All you need to do is make that shift, all right? Anyway, we out of here. Yo, appreciate you for tapping in and listening to the podcast episode today. Hopefully you found it valuable, and if you did and you want to learn more about how I can help you lose the big ass stomach, transform your body, and get your health on point, DM me real results over on Instagram at JJacksonOfficial for more information. And I'll reach back out to you to do what I can to help you hit those health and fitness goals. Let's get it.